Now let's see if you've been watching 2K TV. Which special guest?
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and the prop plane, Kenny Smith. Tonight, we'll see the Los Angeles Lakers playing against the Orlando Magic at Amway Center. So for Orlando, they're
It's time for the NBA, live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Chris Webber and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. Here in Orlando, it's interconference basketball as the Magic look to defend home court at the Amway Center. And this is the first season matchup for them against the Lakers team. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
Yeah, faced off twice last season, and it was a split between the two teams.
And that seems about right, Greg. I mean, last season was one that both of these teams would like to forget. They got beat up a lot and couldn't even beat up on each other.
And now the Lakers starting group. Inside, we've got Kuzma and McGee. Lonzo Ball out there with Ingram. And it's LeBron in at the 3 slot. Now, here's Ball. And James with the basket on the assist by Ball. Chris, you played for 5 different teams, a couple of them multiple times. How long do you think it takes to feel comfortable in a new situation for a player?
I tell you, Kevin, that's such a hard tightrope to play. I remember going to different teams. You have to understand the culture of the team. You have to understand who their best players are already. You have to understand the style of play. And building trust takes time from both sides. So usually you'll come into a situation where you want to make sure that you're showing that you're a great teammate. And so usually in that area, teammates are saying, wait a minute, we brought you over here. We want you to be that guy that we traded for, the guy we just signed or recruited. We were a fan of you. Do the things that you do great. We'll catch up with you. So a lot of it starts with mutual respect, and that means mutual deferment. And then after a while, you both deferring, you're like, wait, we got to win some games. Okay, you be you, I'll be us. We'll all do it together. And kind of once you get over that kind of fine dance in the beginning, that icebreaker, usually that's when things start rolling.
And it's the Magic with the ball. Brandon Ingram missing his last shot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Clearly a foul.
The Magic shooting their first free throws of the game. That free throw, no good. The Lakers with LeBron wasted no time trying to surround him with free agent signings, Greg, to help round out the supporting cast.
Names came in rapid succession after LeBron committed. Caldwell Pope, Rondo, Stevenson all joined in short order. We'll see how far this team goes, but you cannot deny how interesting things have gotten with this roster.
And there were a lot of hidden gems, Chris, in that 2017 draft, and Kyle Kuzma is right at the top of the list.
Well, Kuzma was taken with the 27th overall pick, but he looks like a top 5 pick if you ask me. He probably was just for being a 3-year player at Utah, but that time in college allowed him to hone his skill set. I mean, he came into the league with a wide variety a very polished move.
The Magic have missed both free throws they've attempted tonight.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
The free throw drops for Augustine. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here.
Yeah, easy call.
He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line. The free throw drops for Augustine. Los Angeles making a switch here. Hart's checked in. All free throws good from Augustine.
He's so confident, so self-assured on every free throw he takes.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Ball. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And it wasn't the quickest start for Lonzo Ball in his rookie year. You know, he had a lot of hype to live up to, but he showed he can be a player to build around. He plays as the high-octane engine for his team.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the night right now.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And over the summer, Ball stated that he wanted to add more strength to his game.
Yeah, and Ball said he saw the jump Ingram had between his rookie and sophomore year and was encouraged by that. He wanted to match that type of level of improvement, and I guess that means match that type of level of work off the floor. There's a lot to like about Lonzo's future in the league.
Now here is Augustine. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Here's Gordon. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Gordon's got his first bucket in this one.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
The drive by James, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on Vucevic.
I mean, James is like a freight train moving to the rim. He's so effective at getting the D to hit him when he's on the attack.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
No good on that one. See, Webb, a quick tactical question here. As a big, when you're defending the pick and roll, what are the things you're looking to do? How do you handle that?
Okay, I'm going to try to rapid pace this because this is what goes through your mind. What did coach say in shoot around? Wait a minute, who is this? Is this Steph Curry that can dribble, or is this Thompson that loves to take a step back? Or is it a player like Durant that loves to hit you with the step back? Or who's setting the pick? Is it a guy like Thompson that's going to slip? Or is it a guy like Dwight Howard that they can throw it up to? Is it Capella that may slip and go through and you still throw it up to and you can't get back? Who's communicating? Who's on my team in the corner? What shooter's in the corner? They can't leave the corner to come help. Do I hedge hard? Do I not hedge hard? Oh, no, this is the NBA. It's the greatest players in the world, and even if you do it right, they're going to score anyway. That's kind of what goes through your mind.
That is something else. Vucevic, and again, it's Orlando converting.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Now here's Ingram. A 17-point game for him in the win against Portland. Count it. James has got 6. Magic leading by 5. Grant kicks to Gordon. The feed now to Vucevic. Poked away. Chandler with the steal. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Hart, that's good.
And that's such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, Steve Clifford gave me a few minutes before the game. He knows they have to dig in on defense. They're facing a really talented offense. He said if those guys get going, we're going to be on the wrong end of some long runs. We have to be disciplined, work together, and make those second, third, and fourth efforts on plays. Whatever it takes to get a stop. We'll see if they can get a win in this first matchup between the teams this year. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks as always, David. Well, they know what their toughest job is going to be today.
Yeah, Kevin, it's always hard to go up against a team that can light it up like this. You can't let them hit the ground running.
Yeah, easier to say than do. I mean, with the weapons they have, they force such tough matchups. It's hard to stay with them.
So it's the Lakers now, following the miss by Evan Fournier. Clock at 4. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Simmons checked in for Gordon. And the Lakers also making a change. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Josh Hart. Here's Ball. Drains it from beyond the arc. He's got 5.
A work in progress, but the ball needs to keep developing his three-pointer and open things up a little.
Grant the pass to Bamba. He kicks it to Ross. Feeds it to Simmons. And he banks in the layup.
I like that big play. I mean, you can see how easily it makes it for him to get to the cup.
Stevenson drives in. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. It's a thing of beauty.
Grant against Ball. Grant kicks to Simmons. Over Caldwell-Pope. And oh, he hits the buzzer beater.
Great awareness of the clock to end the quarter.
I like that. Even though he's in a hurry, he still remains under control.
The offense coming free and easy as we wrap up the first quarter. Magic lead by 5. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. Well, you see a lot of players who pick up the controller and fire up NBA 2K, thank goodness, including the king himself, LeBron James.
I play 2K all the time. Seriously, when I'm playing the game, I'm putting certain lineups on the court that I see could actually help us in real life, which is very weird.
Always experimenting, always keeping his mind engaged, Greg, with basketball.
And that's who Bron is. He lives, breathes, and eats basketball.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And when you consider how the Magic are doing, what do you think?
Aggressive rebounding in that first quarter. That's what's given them the advantage.
Well, it does a couple of things. It gives you more opportunities, but it also sets a tone. They're the more physical, the more dominant team
Two
right
shots.
And a moment now to
shots.
reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And so in the game for the Magic, the lengthy bigs inside, Isaac and Bamba. Simmons is out there with Grant, and it's Ross in at the small forward.
But Luke Walton, he's definitely a coach players like to play for. I mean, it helps that he was a player not too long ago. Both stars and role players appreciate the candor and the opportunity he provides them.
All free throws good from Lance Stevenson. And with Walton, you hear players talk about the leeway that he allows them.
And that extra bit of trust Walton gives goes a long way. It's why so many rookies have been able to flourish under him. Young players develop when you let them learn on the fly, and Walton has done a good job in creating that environment.
The activity from Bamba when he's playing with a high motor, watch out.
Stevenson finds Caldwell-Pope. Back to Stevenson. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. 5 on the clock. Over in the corner, Caldwell-Pope. A three-pointer off the mark. And here's Grant. He'll bring it up for the Orlando Magic, leading by 5. In the corner, Bamba with it. Grant surveying the D. Floats one, and the layup is up and in. Grant's got the lead up to 7 now for the Magic.
They are are just killing them on the interior.
Stevenson passes the ball. Stevenson drives in. Rebound by the Magic. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And I feel like the defense was one step behind all night. I mean, they never made the adjustments to string together a few stops.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Kyle Kuzma had a tough upbringing in Flint, Michigan. He said they had the recession, lead in the water. It was like an urban war zone. We probably moved 14 times before I was 16. Basketball was my key. And his drive to succeed in the NBA was born of a desire to escape that environment. Kevin?
A tremendous work ethic, David. Thank you.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them. Jonathan Simmons, the explosive wing player, went undrafted but has earned a spot in the NBA after a strong couple of years in the G League. Now he's established himself as a potent offensive player.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. JaVale McGee's checked in for Chandler. Josh Hart comes in for Lance Stevenson, and it's Ingram in for Lonzo Ball. That's good from Simmons. And for Simmons, when he was in the G League, he developed, Greg, his playmaking.
Yeah, spent some time at point guard at that level, and I think it helps him in terms of finding ways to create shots for himself. He's definitely, though, at his best when the ball is in his hands. Not so much a spot-up player, but he can create offense for a team in a hurry.
An outstanding three-point shooter. Kuzma is a prototype stretch four. That makes him very valuable.
And Augustine kicks to Simmons. Out left to the wing. At the elbow, Vucevic. Back to Simmons. Here's a one-two. Tried to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Ingram left side. And again, it's the Lakers from deep.
Yeah, the D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been from beyond.
Now, here's Bamba. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Caldwell Pope kicks to Ingram. They shot off that time, so Orlando will take it the other way. Next step for them, the Knicks coming out here to play, and that's the 3rd of 4 straight played at home.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
Well, that's just a good example of why the score is what it is. I mean, they need to protect the rim a lot better than that.
And the Magic making a change here. Gordon's checked in, and the Lakers also making a switch. James is checked in. That's good from Simmons. Big-time scoring is always a premium, Chris, when you're evaluating players on the offensive side. What do you hope to find as you kind of break down their game?
I hope to find that you can dribble, shoot, and pass. Because if you can do those things and you're a great scorer, then I know that if you get double-teamed, you can find an open man. That if you have the heart of an unselfish player, that you're willing to think 2-3 plays ahead of how to set someone else up that's struggling, because a great player can always get their own. And also on the offensive side of the ball, are you careless? Do you value possessions? Do you make easy turnovers? And if you do make a turnover in the offensive end, what is your temperature like defensively? Will you run back and get back and try to get a stop? What type of player are you overall? Great offensive players are result-oriented, not necessarily seeking individual numbers or acclaim, and that's a big part of my evaluation.
Here's a one-two. An 11-point game for him in the win against Philadelphia. Over Hart. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. The Magic have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them. And he knocks down the first one.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
And the Magic making a change here. Fournier is checked in. And so he hits both. 52 seconds left in the first half of the game. LeBron kicks to Hart. Back to James. Vucevic with the rebound. Vucevic has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Augustine in the corner. Pass to Vucevic. For 3, Fournier, and he's good on the 3-ball.
And that is a big-time shot and a really dumb foul. Don't give him the and one on a 3-pointer.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. That one misses for Fournier. Lakers trail by 8. Lots of room. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim.
Oh, you gotta love the intelligence of James. He understands the game like few others. I mean, spots the open man with ease.
From the baseline. And he knocks down the jumper. Vucevic has got the lead. Back up to 8 now for Orlando.
Oh, they lean on him for a big portion of their scoring with a good reason.
Maybe pull up on you, like Tom Sawyer, like to get right to the point. And my sneakers match my sweater. Dad, I'm the man, don't wanna see me mad. What you doing? Today my mother called me, she told me that she be worried. My food and what I eat, and I told her it's after dinner, you say you hang with the man. When I'm in the mirror, pull up, later day ain't even have the bill on your. Be sipping chamomile. They know I'm here every week. I be on the. She think it's at a field. Pull up in my crib. I got people out there. I skip the sun never said you. Pulling all these.
Now it's time for 2K TV.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey, and welcome. This is Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. A number of storylines emerging as the season gets into full swing. And on tap tonight, it's the Sacramento Kings going up against the...
This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Houston, Texas, as the Rockets take it to the hardwood. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge. Special treat for our viewers this evening. The sports guy, Bill Simmons, is with us.
It's half of a special treat as Brent Barry is, but I'm going to do my best.
Brent Barry's pretty good,
He's
isn't he?
really good stuff, yeah.
He reads you a lot.
Half a treat is better than the whole treat, right? I mean, come on.
Honor to be here.
Looking at Sacramento, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Grizzlies in Memphis at the FedEx Forum.
Yeah, and in a hostile environment, they did not rise to the occasion, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, it felt like they were teenagers during the summer. Low levels of activity allowed too many good looks. Just not their night.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, we know James Harden hits that step-back 3 a lot, and Mike D'Antoni says most coaches would think, okay, he had a tough shot, live with it. That's some hard living. But it's one of the most lethal shots in the game. Kevin?
Yeah, with that pump fake, he can get to the free throw line too, DA. There's just no answer. And the Rockets last season, first team to ever shoot more threes, Bill, than twos.
Yeah, is that a good thing?
It's more interesting to watch. Percentages are a little skewed.
Is it more interesting to watch if you're 7 years old or if you love basketball like us? I don't know.
It's fun to
love
call.
The back cut.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the society we're in now, right? Like people love home runs. They love three-pointers.
The big shots.
I will never in my life get used to watching guys on a 3-and-2 fast break go to the corners versus go to the basket.
And
for
that's
a
what
layup.
Houston does.
And that's what Houston does, and mathematically it's the right move. But I still kind of like layups sometimes.
You're a traditionalist.
I like to straddle traditionalism versus the new math. I get the new math. I don't understand shooting 45 threes in a game. Just, what is that? It's just a new form of basketball, I guess.
It is, yeah. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court right now for the Kings. Buddy Hield is out there with Bialite. Then there's Iman Shumpert. Then it's De'Aaron Fox. And it's Cauley Stein in at the 5, home in the paint. Harden with it. He picked up 27 points in their last win against Golden State.
He also did a masterful job in that game of drawing a lot of fouls, so he's creating havoc for the defense.
Here's Fox. James Harden picking up that last basket. Bill, the Rockets going into last season, new ownership. Seems like the transition has been pretty smooth so far in Houston.
Yeah, except that they left a title on the table last spring. They came really close. They had big leads in Game 6, big lead in Game 7, and just could not close the door. And that's been a recurring theme for James Harden, for Chris Paul, who missed the last 2 games.
Those games, right.
And I don't know if they're ever going to have a better chance than that, because you talk about Chris Paul now. He's in the 2005 draft. I think this is his 14th year. And point guards, as they get older, you can still get the 28 to 30 minutes a game out of them, but you're not getting like a top 3 All-NBA team type of performance. And I just wonder if they missed their window.
Oh, you just relish those kind of opportunities, and the defense got lucky, but they need to guard that area of the floor a little bit better.
Paul outside, pass to Capella. The 3. Cauley Stein grabs the board. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball. And the turnover again by Sacramento. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Houston this season.
Yeah, and a 4-game season series between these two. Both will be looking to set the tone tonight.
And let's hope for a heated matchup in this first game between them, because a close one tonight ensures we'll have 3 more good games down the road.
Chris Paul, future Hall of Famer, so many individual achievements. No rings to this point. Has missed some big games because of injuries. Where is he in the landscape of that discussion?
I mean, unquestionably a future Hall of Famer. One of the 7, 8 best point guards ever. There's no question. I do think the playoff resume matters a little bit, and I think the reality is he's 5'11". Like, he can list himself as 6'1", but he's a 5'11" guy, and it's really, really hard to build a championship team around a small guy. We've only really seen Isaiah Thomas in the modern era since the merger. He's the only guy we've seen be the focal point of a championship team. And Isaiah he's probably 6'1", maybe 6'2". It's just hard. It's hard to build your entire team around a short guy in a league with giant guys.
Talking about teams built around point guards closer to 6 feet tall, Bill, Philadelphia tried to do with Allen Iverson.
They made the finals. They didn't win. Curry, I guess you could say Curry and Klay Thompson. Building your team around 2 guards who are shooters is the closest thing to an anomaly we've seen. But just statistically, I think the stats are going to carry Chris Paul, especially in this math-obsessed era that we're in with basketball and the advanced metrics, all that stuff. His advanced metrics case is unassailable. The playoff resume, though, he's had some really good cracks at it, and there's a huge turnover against Oklahoma City that turned that series around. The Clips in 2015 literally choked away the Rockets series. I was at that game. They were up 18 in Game 6. James Harden had been taken out.
Right.
It just looked like they were about to blow him out, and they blew it.
Josh Smith was in that game and kind of took over.
Corey Brewer.
Right.
And unfortunately for Chris Paul, that game and Game 5 in 2017 when he hurts, or 18 when he hurts his hamstring, in a win, that's the closest he's gotten so far. Will his career be vindicated by winning a ring? No, he's still one of the best point guards ever. But the playoff resume has to get brought up. I'm sorry.
But this was the year to do it.
This was the year to do it.
And the dunk by Capella.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And then uses his explosiveness once he's gathered the rebound to throw it down.
So the Kings call timeout. They're first.
And he's probably looking at some matchups on the floor he'd like to take advantage of.
I'm interested in what he's seeing and then what kind of play they run coming out of this timeout.
The Kings will go for a different look here. Bagley, he's checked in for Willie Cauley-Stein. Jackson comes in for Bielitsa. Troy Williams checked in for Hield. And it's Bogdan Bogdanovic in for Shumpert. Here's Paul. That one wide left. The Kings trail by 6. And Jackson with the basket on the assist by Williams. Jackson's got his first points of the night. Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
The three-point line and the threes or foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade in those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and it's carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody writes a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
Rockets leading by 6. Here's Paul. Out to the right wing. The pass to Clark. The three from Harden. Good on the three-point shot. Harden's got 8.
It doesn't matter how a defense plays him. Harden is going to make sure that that three-point shot is a primary weapon.
Now, here's Fox. 23 points for him the last game against the Grizzlies in Memphis.
He also did a masterful job in that game of drawing a lot of fouls, so he's creating havoc for the defense.
Here's Fox. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Fox has got his second bucket.
The closer that Fox gets inside, the more effective he could say. I guess you could say he's good in the Fox hole.
And so it's Houston heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. And we'll be right back after this. A unique upbringing for Clint Capella. Spent years in a welfare orphanage in Switzerland. He said he never imagined he'd come this far.
Even as a kid, I wasn't even dreaming about that far. I always said it's even past my dreams. I mean, now I'm just living the moment, trying to work hard as I can, and just enjoy the present. Enjoy the present.
Just an inspiring story, Greg. It gives you perspective on why you should be grateful for everything you have.
Kevin, without a doubt, Capella's upbringing helped shape him, and the hard work he continues to put in is really admirable.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And when you consider how the Rockets are doing, guys, what are your thoughts?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, got a huge advantage.
Paul and Harden are the incredible backcourt duo. And there's Gordon, and it's Hartenstein in at the 5 spot. It's the 5 for Houston right now. Now, here's Fox. He has 6. Bogdanovich passes to Williams. Jackson kicks to Bogdanovich. 6 to shoot over Paul. And that one goes long.
Just like to see the defensive effort get better for their ball club. They can't expect guys to miss the mid-range Jays every time.
Eric Gordon back in 2011. He was traded for Chris Paul. Ironically enough, last year they became teammates.
I am a Clippers season ticket holder and bought a bunch of Eric Gordon stock in 08 and 09. I loved how he would go toe-to-toe with Kobe Bryant and had a knack for playing big in big games, which there weren't many of them for the Clippers. But it's been nice to see him turn into a real guy.
He's staying healthy. He's staying healthy.
Stayed healthy, and he was awesome in the Warriors series. I really thought, until Game 7 when the entire team went cold, I thought from a pedigree standpoint, he belonged out there with all the best guys in that series.
Substitution here for Sacramento. Willie Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Bagley. Bielitsa comes in for Troy Williams. Fields checked in for Bogdan Bogdanovich. And it's Iman Shumpert in for Fox. Now here's Shumpert. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Memphis. Harden up top, guarded by Shumpert. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And it's going to go on Iman Shumpert.
You know, it tells you something about Harden that he's led the league in free throw attempts so many times. This man is always in attack mode.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
The first one falls. He hits one, then this is the second attempt from the free throw line. Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtic, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them. And they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on that team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. Was probably the most famous NBA game ever. The kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime.
Oh, no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing the whole second overtime, so I had to get up.
Now here's Jackson. Harden missing his last shot. Stolen by Harden. One-on-one here. And it's Gordon missing.
It is so tough to make those kind of shots with the defense draped all over you.
Now we've seen some top prospects forgo college, enter the G League straight out of high school. What do you think is the future of the G League, and do you like where it sits right now?
I do. I wish they spent more money on salaries.
I agree.
I wish they blew it out. I mean, I think this is the first year we've had 30 G League teams. This should be the #1 place you'd want to go after high school. You should not want to go to college. You should want to go to a AAA awesome league that's set up.
And they're bringing kids up and down off that G League roster all the time.
It's just better, and you're going to have a better chance to succeed as a professional basketball player. You see the situation we're in now with the one-and-done guys. They go to college. They show up in September. They're playing all the way through till March. Whenever they get knocked out, they drop out of college. And they might last, you know, till round 2 in the tournament, which is what, March 20th?
Right.
And they're out. So they've been in college for 6.5 months. How's that a good system? They didn't even finish 2 semesters. So I would much rather see the G League work, and I don't understand why they don't spend a little more on it and just make it like a force. I don't think the moves are that hard.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes play.
And great job from beyond the arc this quarter. They are now shooting the 3 at almost 60% for the game.
Harden against Shumpert. Inside. Count it, and the Houston lead has been cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Cauley Stein.
Well, a good job of using his length there. Even though contested, Cauley Stein not shaken.
Harden finds Gordon. Back to Harden. He gets it in there.
Yeah, the onslaught continues. He's been unstoppable now for a couple of nights.
Well, a tip of the cap to the coaching staff here. They're recognizing how well he's playing, so the game plan has been built around it.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. You gotta like what Harden has done in this game so far.
Yeah, I know the defense has 5 guys, but collectively they're no match for this guy. He is roasting.
For the Rockets, Clark, he's checked in for Capella, and Paul subbed in for James Harden. Then for the Kings, Bagley comes in for Bielitsa, and it's Fox in for Jackson. Bagley with the bucket.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, the Kings signed some quality vets last season, but when the losses piled up, they decided to go young. Now, the focus is on development. The veterans still have a role, providing steadying presence on the court and in the locker room. Kevin?
David, it certainly is a balancing act. Thanks for that report. Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on. Go Celtics.
You can't root on these, Bill.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
And Brent, always cool, isn't it, to hear what Bill's thinking? He comes at things from a variety of angles.
Yeah, the pop culture stuff and the bits from personal life and his interaction around the game. He certainly has a passion for basketball, and it's great that Bill's adding some color to the audience's experience.
The shot by Cauley Stein, no good. And so it's Paul bringing it up for the Rockets. 15 seconds left in the first half. On the wing, Eric Gordon. Just 5 on the clock. Shoots the 3. Doesn't get it to drop for him. And so it's Houston ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to a close. A good size advantage, and they'll look to increase it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is